Okay, so this dent bothers me, and the reason this suction cup couldn't do it is because there's a dent here and a dent here. This actually seems like a protrusion, like a wrinkle protrusion. I don't know how I can put that down. But today, I'm going to attempt to do something. If I can pull this dent out, I'm going to do something with that. It's already scratched, so if I whack it with a hammer, oh well. But I'm going to try to address these dents along here and see if I can't get this entire panel to pull out like it's supposed to, because this will grab onto it and it does pull it out most way, but you still got this dent here. So that pulls on pretty good. Yeah, baby, it made a circle.
Yeah, it made a circle.
Yeah. So we're going to see what we can do about that. So I've seen others on YouTube use these. You see these in your Instagram feed all the frickin' time. But these little dent puller kits, this was pretty comprehensive. It actually did come with a polymer faced, some sort of polymer here, some sort of rubber here, but a little mallet for you, a microfiber cloth, instructions, little putty knives with the glue sticks most of all, and then some little, oh, what do you call those little freaking, I wouldn't call them punches, but they're little beating dies, I guess, so maybe that'll help me address this piece here. I'm going to try to pull this one out first. So evidently I didn't order the kit that comes with a glue gun. They do have one that does come with a glue gun. I have a glue gun already, so I'll just pull that out and see what I can do. The little bottle has no alcohol in it, so I'm going to go see where I've got a stash of alcohol and see if we can't get this done. If it doesn't have alcohol, I might just do the Windex, because I think all you really want to do is clean any dirt or grime or anything and make sure you get a good stick to your dent. I watched James Moore on Moore Motorsports, his YouTube channel. He did some, but he was doing more of, can I even find one, like these little dents here. I don't know if you can see the little hail damage dents that are, and you can see that little bit of a wrinkle that's in there. Right there. There's a few of them on this hood. He popped a bunch of them out on his little Honda Civic. So this is going a little bit more than what he did. If you want to see how those work, and I may do that someday on that hood, I may actually go after them. But this, I'm after this wrinkle right here. So if I can get this all sorted out, then I think I can get the rest of the panel to pop out like it's supposed to and actually look cleaner. And then I might find some of those heavy duty scratch fillers and clean this up. And the only reason I really want to clean it up is the wife's talking about trading it in on something. See, here's one of those dents you've seen a lot of the guys use on these, and that's what the Instagram videos and all these little, those are probably parking lot dings, which you can pull those out. So I'll probably try that too, but I've already cleaned it all with Windex. I don't know if that actually removes the turtle wax that I put on it a couple months back, but I'll probably wipe it down one more time, make sure I've got it good and clean, and then we'll see what we So I can't tell if I'm making any progress on that dent at all. So I'm thinking I might go and try to practice on this one. If I can pull this little ding out, maybe I can learn a little bit better about how this is supposed to work. So this one that's just a bit bigger than it all, put that glue on it. I have no idea how much I'm supposed to be putting on there, but smash it into place. Let that harden up a little bit. And you can see this has a knob that slots into there. These little feet are rubberized and they'll protect the rest of the paint. You'll tighten it down with this knob. I'm going to loosen it up right now. And then you just squeeze with this thing. Let that harden up. It seems to be fairly hard. Slide it in. Tighten it a little bit. I don't know how tight I'm supposed to get it there, but you know, as long as it's staying on its own. Alright, having that set, seems the glue set up enough. I'm supposed to just pull on it, just squeeze it lightly. And for what I've seen, let's tighten that up a little bit more, a little more tight. Yeah, it'll pop like that. Oh my goodness, yeah. On those little dents, it's working. I think it basically just pulled that one out. So it works on hail damage size, door ding size ones. I'll hit this one too. But it pulled that out a lot. I think over here, I've got too much going on. You can see with the shape, you see what the shape is supposed to be on the door. Down here, there's all kinds of wrinkling going in here that's pulled out, that's pushed in, that's pushed in, that's pushed in. It may be too much for this, and maybe, I don't know, that needs to be pushed in. Maybe there's more going on here than I thought. However, let's play a little bit more with this little ding. Let's see what we can get it to do. So my understanding is after doing the one that's over the dent, you go to a smaller one. So let that set up and harden up. That's setting up pretty neatly. Get the rubberized feet in there. Tighten this up. And, well, that was quick. I didn't even get much of a grab on that at all. Hope it did something. Squirt it with some juice. For some reason it reacts with the alcohol and it comes off as one piece pretty well. And you have just a little bit of residue. Other than the fact that there's a paint chip in the middle, I think I just totally pulled that dent out. I think that dent is gone. If I had pure alcohol, this would probably clean a little better, but Windex seems to be doing okay. But I just wanted to switch to this to see exactly, does this thing actually work the way I've seen it work? I think that pulled most of the dent out. It's barely noticeable now. It definitely won't be noticeable at like 10 feet other than... That dent's pretty much gone. Tiniest bit of feeling on it. That one with the paint chip, where'd it go? I can't, there it is. I might hit that one more time with the small one. See if I can't pull the rest of it out. Because that one popped off pretty quickly, because I can still see it. This one, I'll clean that residue off. It'll show better that it's pretty much gone. Alright, I know it works that way. In their instruction manual, they're showing compound dents like this stuff. So a little bit of practice, maybe I can make it work. It's still a little tiny dent where the paint chip is at, if you can. Well, let's wipe all the Windex off. A little bit of glue residue. I don't know why that one left so much residue. Yeah, tiniest of bit. It's not as bad as it was, that's for sure. Now, I will probably hit some wax on all of this stuff. Try to keep this paint protected for the winter. Not that a 2004 Honda Pilot has pristine paintwork. Trying different angles and looking at it, you can see it tiny bit there. This one's still there. I don't know. I don't know, I'll try it one more time, see if it pulls it, but they're definitely minimized. That one's almost totally gone. This one, way less of a dent than it was before, that's for sure. So what you're witnessing right now is the Suburban's in the shop for some brake work. I've got my wife's truck. So I'm just playing around, seeing if I can actually fix this stuff. I don't know if I can address the big problem here. Definitely learning on these little ones a little bit. So if you got little hail damage or door dings like that, I mean, this kit will address them. So I think it's a success there. Remains to be seen whether or not I'm going to be able to fix all this stuff over here. I think I'll cut it off right here, and then I'm going to play around a whole lot with this piece and see if I can do it or not. Okay, this is worth showing. The straight edge one is having a hard time removing this one. So switch over to the serrated one. None of them are sharp enough to actually damage your paint, but this one does dig in a little bit better for one that's stubborn. And boom, it's off. So the serrated one, that's its purpose. Alright, there you go. Got the residue off. It is definitely proud. So of the two, this one's obviously, that's funny, let's get that screwed on. That's the harder one, this is the softer one. Yeah, I can massage it back in. Look away, you faint of heart. I don't think I'm going to get that pulled out. There's something more complex going in there. But the dent is definitely minimalized from what it was. And I think on camera you can see that little paint chip, and there's a little gash in it too. It's better. It's not perfect, but it's better. It's not as prominent as it was a ding before. Now, having experimented on that, the next question is, can I fix that? analysis. This little kit is great for those little kind of dings that I repaired here. And if you realize what it is and what you're going to get out of it, it actually is useful here. And I probably should attack this crease a little bit more because I got most of the dent pulled back out, actually to a significant level. The hard one, the really hard one, is down here. And you see that's all the way down to metal right there. But it creased in there along where there's already a natural body line crease, and so it won't pull that out. But I got a lot of this evened up. It's still pretty wrinkly and stuff. Things that need to be beat in place. If I attack this whole dent, you see it better this way. But that dent I need to attack a little bit more. I'm just out of time for today. But what this gets this door to is a point where it's a lot easier to body work it and get the metal closer to shape, so that you can actually come back with less filler. And yes, that is putting the idea in my mind of whether or not I'm actually going to attempt something like that. Because honestly, the only, get an HVLP gun, get the right color code for this stuff, just a decent paint. I don't need something expensive. And I'd only do this lower half of the door and this rear quarter panel above the bumper, below the window. I wouldn't attempt blending, but yeah, that's a future project. This is putting into my mind that to repair this, I would need to do that. I don't know if you see on camera what I'm seeing here with all the wrinkles down in here. Got to beat a lot of that back into shape, and then I'd be able to shape it with some Bondo. But this little kit has put it at a point where it would take way, way less fill. And the big, giant hand-sized dent that was in there is now popped out for the grand majority. Now what you've got is just down here getting, it's kind of a dent down in here about 4 finger size. And all this little, what do you want to call that, cratering or something? But a lot of it, it's hampered by the inability to pull this line back out. Bet if I took the door panel off, I could beat it from the backside with some of those I don't know what you call that, those little punch sets that were in there. Might be able to work from that side if I feel like doing that kind of a thing. Now, if you're sitting there watching this video and you're asking why on a 2004 Honda Pilot I'm doing this, you ask that question publicly and everybody watching it that is married knows you are not married. When you find a woman you love, you're willing to do all kinds of things for her. And yeah, I'm kind of bored today. I figured I'd just do this today. There's other things I could have chosen to do, but I'm doing this. Why? Because I love my wife. And because she deserves everything I can do for her. When you find that kind of love, then you'll know why you should not be asking that kind of a stupid question. As one commenter said, that's the Clint Eastwood in me coming out. But that's what you get when you're raised by a Vietnam veteran Texan. One that actually did, as I was growing up, watch a lot of John Wayne and Clint Eastwood. So yeah, that's where I am. There's my little bit of rant for today. But yeah, I think on another day when I've got more time, I might actually attack this one up here. Attack that, see what it does. But man, I probably could spend a couple of hours up here on the roof, or not the roof, but the hood. All the little dents there in the hood from the hail damage. I could probably pull every single one of those back out with that machine. It's a good little kit, I think, for what, $40 that I paid for it. $50 gets you a glue gun. If you've already got a glue gun, then you just get the one you need. So yeah, that's what it is, and that's what it does. Not a bad little tool to have in your toolbox. So if you come this far, I hope it, one, answered the question. Every time you see that little thing on ads on Instagram or wherever else you've been seeing it, yeah, it kind of works. It kind of does work. I mean, because you look, those little dents are way more minimal than they were before. And if I were to repair these, that would take such a minor bit of freaking, wouldn't even take a little more than glazing putty. So yeah, the little machine works. It's probably worth it if you're looking at something. For a big major door sized dent like this, it's going to get you close enough to where you can body work and use a heck of a lot less filler. So yeah, I'm glad I bought it. And I'm glad I spent the time today learning to use it. I do think that it would have been easier had I actually had isopropyl alcohol like it calls for, but you know, the bottle that came with it, I expected that to have been filled, but no, the instructions say get your own. So yeah, I'll go get my own next time I want to use it. All right, enough babbling. Hope this did you some good. If you come this far, appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.